UCLA Channel 5 Sports presents UCLA basketball. Tonight from Pauley Pavilion in Westwood, the UCLA Bruins versus the USC Trojans. This NCAA basketball telecast is being brought to you by Honda, maker of the Honda Civic and the Honda Accord. Simple to drive, simple to own, simple to enjoy. Honda, we make it simple. By Mark C. Bloom, you can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. 37 stores for tires and expert service. Mark C. Bloom. By Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. And by Quasar, color TV designed with the works in the drawer for reliability that makes it the most advanced television today.
A UCLA-USC athletic contest is always something special, and so it is tonight. UCLA 9-2 with a victory over the SC Trojans can take a real stranglehold on the Bruins' 13th straight Pac-10 basketball championship with a victory here this evening. USC 8-3 in second place in the league. It's a must game for the Trojans. If they can win, then they tie for first place. If they lose, then the best they could probably do is play for second place in the league. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Walden from courtside here at Pauley Pavilion in Westwood, along with UCLA head coach Gary Cunningham. About a month ago, the Bruins beat the Trojans 89-86 at the Sports Arena. That night, Cliff Robinson scored 32. How do you plan to play Cliff tonight?
Well, we'll hopefully play him the same way defensively. Hopefully he won't shoot as well. He's an outstanding basketball player, and when he gets hot, he's practically unstoppable, Mike. He's very good. We're going to have to get up and we're going to have to crowd him, and hopefully he'll force some shots. But he's an outstanding player, and this is an outstanding team that we're playing tonight.
And UCLA has been playing outstanding basketball the last 3 weeks.
I've been very pleased with our team the last 3 weeks. I hope it can hold up tonight. This is a crucial game for both teams tonight, and we can be in a very good position if we can win the game tonight.
Everyone has been playing well, but especially so Kiki Vandeweghe.
Kiki has come on very strong for us, and since for the last 10 or 12 games, he's just been outstanding and getting better every ball game, and I hope he has a great game tonight.
Brad Holland, Roy Hamilton in the backcourt. You've got David Greenwood up front.
Yes, and there are a lot of other players contributing too, and I've said it before, and I think it's been a team contribution and a team effort, and that's what makes us go, our teamwork and playing together.
From your standpoint, Gary Cunningham, the key to victory is what?
Well, I think the one thing, we have to control the backboards. We have to stop the penetration of Dean Jones. We have to do a good job on Robinson, but we cannot overlook Don Carvino and Purvis Miller. They're both outstanding players. We have to play good defense, and offensively, we must execute our offense and get our running game going.
Thank you, Gary. Good luck. We'll visit with you when it's over.
Okay, Mike. Thank you.
UCLA head coach Gary Cunningham. And now we'll have the pregame comments of USC's Bob Boyd right after this. Bob Boyd, you've been bringing your USC teams in here to Pauley Pavilion for the last 13 years to play the Bruins. You've won twice. Now this is your last year at USC. What are the thoughts going through your mind right now?
I'm glad I don't have to bring them here again. I wish I could say it like JD would say it. But anyway, I'm always anxious to play UCLA. I wished, quite frankly and honestly, that we could have done better over the years. But we didn't do very well. And I would like to tell you, I could be lying and say, well, this is one of the reasons I'm not going to stay in this job anymore, because I can't beat these guys. That isn't the reason at all. I always look forward to coming to Pauley Pavilion. Our team has done, as well as it can here. And I'm just looking forward to the game.
Popular belief is if Cliff Robinson is on his game, the Trojans have a real shot tonight. If he isn't, they don't. You buy that?
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. When Cliff is 5 for 15 at Arizona or 3 for 14 at Oregon State, we have no chance of winning. And quite frankly, the field goal stat is the most critical statistic of any ball team, and my team didn't shoot well in those games. And speaking because he does take the most shots on our team, he has to play well. And most people think of the offense as playing well. He's got to also be effectively defensively and also on the boards, play the boards well. But if he plays well, we'll be there right close.
Bob, I've enjoyed my association with you here in Los Angeles for 13 years, and whatever the future holds in store for you, the very best.
Okay, Mike, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
USC basketball coach Bob Boyd. Now stay with us for the starting lineups, USC, UCLA from Pauley Pavilion. Capacity here at Pauley Pavilion is 12,800. It has been packed for the last half hour or so. Students have been sleeping outside for a couple of days just trying to be first in here because it is UCLA, USC. The Bruins are 16-3 overall, ranked number 3 in one poll and 4th in the other. And USC 13-7. And now let's join Don Sawyer, the veteran voice of Pauley Pavilion, for the starting lineups for tonight's traditional crosstown rivalry. USC Trojans will be introduced first, of course.
Compton, number 45, Purvis Miller.
Purvis Miller, 6'7" sophomore, averaging 10.3.
At forward, a 6'8" junior from La Mirada, number 43, Doug Whitfeld.
Doug Whitfeld getting the start tonight. He's going to try to see if he can contain Kiki Vandeweghe.
Number 44, Cliff Robinson.
Robinson is averaging 16 points a game.
At guard,
and he is averaging about 11 rebounds a game. Dean Jones, the assist leader for the Trojans, a 6.6 scoring average, 5 assists per game.
Don Carfino.
Don Carfino with a scoring average of 10.3, a junior from Bellflower. And there is Bob Boyd making his last visit to Pauley Pavilion after 13 years as head coach at USC. And in that time, Boyd has posted a record of 209 victories and 129 defeats. A tremendous roar from Pauley Pavilion as the Bruins are about to be introduced.
Senior from Los Angeles, number 34, David Greenwood.
First out, the leading scorer and rebounder, David Greenwood, averaging 17.8, the number 3 all-time rebounder in UCLA history.
Kiki Vandeweghe.
Kiki Vandeweghe, who has played so very, very well in the last 5 or 6 games, averaging 13.6.
Junior from Redondo Beach, number 31, Gig Sims.
Gig Sims averaging 4.7. He also gives the Bruins an average of about 5 rebounds a game.
Senior from La Crescenta, number 14, Brad Holland.
Brad Holland, a 16.9 average, shooting 64% from the floor.
Senior from Los Angeles, number 24, Roy Hamilton.
And here's the young man who orchestrates the whole ensemble, Roy Hamilton, averaging 16.7 and 7 assists per game. Gary Cunningham, the head coach, Larry Farmer, and Jim Herrick, his assistants. Gary is 39 years old, and in his seasons at UCLA, this is his second, a record of 41-6, and Cunningham's teams have never lost a league game in Pauley Pavilion. And now, Mark C. Bloom presents Bloom's Bruin Bonanza. For the first Bruin slam dunk of the half, Josephine Wenton of La Puente will win $50 in merchandise from Mark C. Bloom. If there is a second slam dunk, Kai Dixon of Torrance will win the same. To be eligible for the drawing, stop at any of the 37 Mark C. Bloom stores and fill out an entry blank. No obligation. Our 3 officials assigned here tonight by the Pac-10 office: Herb Brown, Bob Harold, and Rich Ballesteros. Herb Brown is from Colorado. He's the baseball coach at the University of Colorado. Bob Harold from La Crescenta, the aquatics director at Glendale, California school system. And Rich Ballesteros makes his home in San Francisco. So the second of 2 meetings about ready to take place, and you can just feel the intensity, the excitement of this crowd at Pauley Pavilion as the Bruins and the Trojans prepare to do business once again. It's been a long time since the Trojans won a ball game over UCLA. The Bruins have won 18 straight. However, UCLA's record in Pauley Pavilion is 212-7. 2 of those defeats inflicted by USC, the last one coming in March of 1970. It'll be Cliff Robinson, 6'9", jumping against David Greenwood, 6'9.5". Herb Brown will toss the ball in the air, and this Pac-10 headliner is underway. Sims controls it, went off the shoulder of the hand of Doug Whitfeld. Robinson got the tip, but it was volleyballed around, and the Bruins come up with it. David Greenwood on the left wing. Roy Hamilton. Dean Jones is on him. Greenwood is guarded by Purvis Miller. Brad Holland. Don Carfino will take in. Greenwood underneath. He scores it, and he was fouled. 2-0, UCLA. The foul on Purvis Miller. You know, I know that you want the beer drinkers you know to be treated to the very best. So the next time you have guests, make sure you have plenty of cold Budweiser on hand. Greenwood has made 13 free throws in a row over the last 4 games, and now he keeps that string alive. and it's 3-0 UCLA. Bruins will put pressure on in the backcourt. Carfino gets it across over to Purvis Miller. Don Carfino, he can fire from out there, doesn't this time. Whitfeld posted high, off to Purvis Miller. Carfino, Brad Holland will be on him. Dean Jones over to Purvis Miller. Carfino. Brad Holland closes in again. Inside to Cliff Robinson. Robinson bumped by Kiki Vandeweghe. The foul will be on the 6'8" junior UCLA forward. 3-0 UCLA. And we remind you that this telecast is intended for the exclusive use of Golden West Broadcasters and its viewers, and cannot be reproduced or telecast without the express written consent of Golden West Broadcasters. Traveling against Dean Jones. On our Pac-10 Monday night TV game of the week up in Corvallis, a ton of turnovers by both the Beavers and the Trojans. Oregon State winning it 70-67. Greenwood from the top of the circle. Carfino for USC. 3-0. The Bruins lead it. Jones shovels it off over to Carfino. Whitfeld. Sims is on him. Purvis Miller traveling on Miller. Picked up the pivot foot. That's 2 turnovers in a row by USC. Twice down court now. The Trojans haven't been able to get a shot. Brad Holland across the timeline off to Hamilton. One thing that Bob Boyd says he hopes to be able to do is cut off the fast break by UCLA, but he's got to watch out for the inside game of Kiki Vandeweghe and also by Greenwood. Vandeweghe trying to flip it back into play. Stepped over the line. 5-0. UCLA builds up a lead over SC. And Bob Boyd must be on the bench now thinking, golly, in my 13 years, I've seen this act many times before. The Bruins getting off the big leads. Underneath, Robinson. Twice-swatted by Greenwood. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the play of Robinson throughout the rest of this game. Cliff was ready to go up on a 10-foot shot, and it was rejected. And oh, how it was rejected by David Greenwood. 5-0 UCLA. Purvis Miller out in front. Robinson comes up front. Jones on a 20-footer. Puts it through. Hit the lip of the rim and then kicked through the cords. 5-2 on the 20-footer by Dean Jones. A 3-point lead for UCLA. Brad Holland against Carfino. Bounce pass to Kiki Vandeweghe. Back over to Brad. He'll take that 20-footer. Rims and grabbed off by Roy Hamilton. Back over to Brad Holland. Holland underneath. Doesn't score it. And it's rebounded by Cliff Robinson. Robinson over to Dean Jones. 5-2 Bruins. 2 minutes, 15 seconds have gone by the boards here in the first period. Carfino. Doug Whitfeld. Back over to Jones. SC likes to run, and they like to work the ball over to Robinson for that very shot. That's his favorite shot, and Cliff misses, and the Bruins come down with it. Underneath the Kiki Vandeweghe, who doesn't score it, and the foul will be against Don Carfino, called by Rich Ballesteros. And Kiki Vandeweghe will go to the line for UCLA. Vandeweghe is the best free throw shooter for the Bruins, an 82%er. He's made 72 out of 88. He's the best free throw shooter, and he's also taken the most free throws for UCLA. Vandeweghe was fouled by Carfino. The Honda Civic CVCC comes in just 3 body styles: sedan, hatchback, and wagon. How's that for making it simple? Kiki Vandeweghe has been averaging 18 points a game in his last 5. Puts in a pair of free throws, and it's a 7-2 lead for UCLA. Whitfeld still in the backcourt along with Jones. They've got 10 seconds to get it across the line. Jones very clever with the ball. Lays it off over to Purvis Miller. Another block shot by David Greenwood. The crowd on its feet here in Pauley Pavilion to Gig Sims. Brad Holland. Holland puts it up and in. It's 9-2 UCLA. Boyd up off the bench, but he doesn't want a timeout yet. Dean Jones across the timeline. Makes his penetration, and now he calls a timeout. Timeout called by USC. 16:46 to play first half. The Bruins up by 7 over the Trojans, 9-2. We've got another USC-UCLA showdown coming up tomorrow. That'll be between the SC and the UCLA women's teams. They'll play in the first meeting of the season at noon at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. Mike Walden back here at Pauley Pavilion, 9-2, UCLA. No changes in either lineup. Purvis Miller from the corner inside Whitfeld. Back over to Purvis, 5-foot shot. He gets it. Purvis Miller, 9-4. UCLA shooting 50% so far, 3 out of 6. The Trojans are 2 out of 5. 40%. Gig Sims. Brad Holland tries to get it inside Greenwood, tapped out of bounds. The surprise, I think, so far in the first 3.5 minutes, Brad Holland driving along the baseline. First time he went in from the left side and missed. Second time from the right side. He likes to stand outside and pop. Greenwood on a 5-footer. David Greenwood. And the Bruins have a 7-point lead right back on USC. Dean Jones in the backcourt, being pressured by both Hamilton and Gigi Vandeweghe from the corner. Carfino missing. Rebound to Greenwood. Another rebound for David Greenwood. Holland in the middle. Holland lays it off over to Gig Sims. 20-footer by Gig Sims. Kiki Vandeweghe fighting for the ball along with Greenwood and Carfino. It'll be out of bounds to UCLA. It went off the chest of Carfino. Carfino with a big grin on his face. Irv Brown says, yep, that's the way I saw it. Carfino didn't necessarily agree, but Carfino, a likable guy, always with a smile on his face. Here is Greenwood, top of the circle. Little short. Carfino with a rebound. It's 11-4. UCLA, 15.5 minutes to play in the first half. Jones makes his penetration and doesn't score it. Cliff Robinson has it knocked away. Foul against UCLA. Cliff Robinson just started to make his carry, and the foul was called on Roy Hamilton.
Cliff Robinson shooting 2.
So Cliff Robinson goes to the line. He will shoot a pair. Now here's the shot that's missed, and Robinson started to carry it up, and it was poked away by Hamilton. The foul on Hamilton. Robinson's free throw is no good. Cliff Robinson is a 70% free throw shooter. 11-4, Bruins. Cliff gets this one to go down, so it's 11-5 now, a 6-point lead for UCLA. Now the Trojans are pressing, but the Bruins have no trouble underneath the Greenwood. A little soft reverse hook shot by David Greenwood. 13-5 UCLA. What a big first half for Greenwood. 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 block shots. How about that for the All-American from UCLA? And we played only 4 minutes and 45 seconds in the first half. 13-5 UCLA. Carfino beats the pass down court over to Cliff Robinson. Back over to Carfino. Knocked away by Sims. And Miller has it again for the Trojans. UCLA playing very difficult defense. Really tough on SC to get the good shot. Purvis Miller over in the corner. Carfino, Jones looking inside to Cliff Robinson. There he goes against Kiki Vandeweghe. Missing that shot, taken off by Sims. And when Cliff Robinson is missing that shot, the Trojans are in trouble. He loves that 10, 12-foot shot along the baseline. 13-5, UCLA. Hamilton gets it inside to Kiki Vandeweghe. Back over to Roy. Roy from the corner. Doesn't put it up. Inside to Sims. Sims over Robinson. Shot blocked by Robinson. Taken away by Cliff Robinson. Good play by the USC center. Off to Dean Jones. It's an 8-point lead for UCLA. Purvis Miller tempted to shoot. Does not. Whitfeld looking down for Cliff Robinson. Carfino in the corner. Inside to Cliff. Cliff swings around. Robinson gives it right back over to Dean Jones. They're constantly looking inside for Cliff Robinson. Purvis Miller. Dean Jones off to Carfino. Carfino, 15-footer. Rebounded by Greenwood. His 3rd board of the night. He's got 7 points. Hamilton stops. Over to Sims at the free throw line. 2! The Bruins build up a 10-point lead on the bucket by Gig Sims. 13:40 till halftime. Whitfeld on a 15-footer. Doug Whitfeld scores. It's 15-7. UCLA over Southern California. Hamilton swings over the right side. Brad Holland. Both teams shot extremely well in their first meeting at the Sports Arena. 52% for USC. 57% for UCLA. Traveling on Greenwood. That'll be only the 2nd turnover for UCLA. David never did have a good handle in the ball. Travel with it. Call made by Bob Harold. We get a change in the SC lineup. Maurice Williams, a 6'6" freshman, into the forward, replacing Purvis Miller. They say the two youngest teams in the Pac-10 Conference, Oregon State and USC. Williams misses the shot. Williams just gets into the game, doesn't get into the flow of the game, and fires up a difficult shot from the corner. Here is Brad Holland from the corner. Two! Oh, does Brad love those corners, and especially the right-handed corner. A 10-point lead for UCLA. Doug Whitfeld at the side. Whitfeld has it again. Tries a 5-footer. Gets this one. 4 points for Doug Whitfeld. It's UCLA 17, Southern California 9. Hamilton against Jones. In case you're just joining us on the telecast, the Bruins got off to a 5-0 lead. Kiki Vandeweghe back over to Hamilton. Hamilton on a 20-footer. Rebounded by both Cliff and Sims, and the foul will be against Gig Sims, reaching over the back of Cliff Robinson. That's the first foul on Gig Sims. See, Sims reaching over the top. In team fouls, 3 against UCLA, 2 against Southern California. 12:23 left, first half. 17-9, UCLA. Glad to have you with us live here on Channel 5, Los Angeles, KTLA TV. Mo Williams and Cliff Robinson. Back out to Jones, and he'll set it up, and Robinson will go down low. Whitfield comes out in front. Dean Jones over to Carfino. Here is Williams from the top of the circle, right through. So Williams in the flow of the game now, pumping that one in from the top of the circle. 17-11. The Trojans cut the UCLA lead to 6. David Greenwood over to Gig Sims. Sims underneath the Kiki Vandeweghe, and he is fouled by Mo Williams. First foul on Williams. And that's the third team foul against SC, and we have a timeout here in Westwood. 11:38 remaining first half, and it's a 6-point UCLA lead. It's been a truly All-America performance by Greenwood here in the first 7.5 minutes of action. Greenwood is the third greatest rebounder in UCLA history. Bill Walton, who is here tonight, is number 1. We hope to have him on for a few comments at halftime. Then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, number 2, and David Greenwood, number 3. And in addition, number 34 of UCLA is 5th on the all-time UCLA scoring list. What a player, David Greenwood. Kiki Vandeweghe makes it 18-11. Vandeweghe, a 6'8" junior from Palisades High in Los Angeles. Missed that one. Horn went off. I don't know why. It's 18-11. I think somebody just accidentally touched it. 18-11. UCLA. 11:36 to play. Cliff Robinson along the baseline, missing that one again. And David Greenwood has his 4th rebound of the night. Brad Holland in the middle. A bounce pass over to Hamilton. Knocked away. It'll be awarded out of bounds too. We're going to award it out of bounds to UCLA. Kiki Vandeweghe goes out, replaced by James Wilkes. Wilkes is a 6'7" junior, Dorsey High in Los Angeles. The Bruins have 9 rebounds. Greenwood has 4. SC has 7 rebounds. Robinson 4. Gig Sims, a lob pass to David. He scores it. A variation of the alley-oop, and Greenwood makes it 20-11. UCLA over the Trojans. Jones makes his penetration to Whitfield from the free throw line. And a lot of spin on it. Wilkes has it taken away now by Dean Jones of the Trojans. Jones out to Mo Williams. His shot no good. Rebounded by the Trojans. Dean Jones over to Cliff Robinson. And a 3-second lane violation against Cliff Robinson of USC. The Bruins 20, the Trojans 11, 10:55 to play first half. Our director, John Polich, studio coordinator, Jim Kane, our statistician, Dennis Medician. Into Sims, lob, easy lob pass, knocked away, but the Bruins have it right back. Robinson batted it away, couldn't get it, and UCLA comes up with it again. Over to Wilkes. Holland, he's open for a moment. His shot, no good. Grabbed off by Cliff Robinson. That's 5 rebounds for Robinson. Whitfield back over to Cliff Robinson, and the big 6'9" sophomore for the Trojans settles it down. Over to Mo Williams. Dean Jones. Robinson looking down for Woodfelt now. Off to Maurice Williams. Back over to Cliff Robinson. Swings around over Sims, and he scores it. It looked like it was going to kick off to the right. Ball hit the right part of the rim and then dropped through the hole. 2013, UCLA up by 7 over Southern California. We're right at the midway point of the first half. Sims over Robinson, blocked by Cliff Robinson, and the foul will be against Cliff Robinson. That's his first. And Gig Sims will go to the line for UCLA. Purvis Miller coming back into the lineup, replacing Woodfelt for the Trojans. Color TV by Quasar, designed with the works in the drawer for reliability that makes it the most advanced television today. 21-13 on the free throw by Sims. He is a 67% free throw shooter. Sims already has 4 points here in the first half. He came in averaging 4.7. So for the Bruins to get 4 in the first half from Gig Sims, that's a bonus. 22-13 UCLA. Jones on the drive, missing. And Jones comes right back up with it. And we've got another 3-second violation against the Trojans. That's 2 in a row called against SC in the lane too long. UCLA 22, USC 13, 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Roy Hamilton to James Wilkes. David Greenwood takes the shot. David Greenwood with 11 points in the game. 11 points. He's got 4 rebounds and 2 block shots. 24-13. UCLA builds up its biggest margin of the night, 11 points. Purvis Miller on a 15-footer, drops it in. Purvis Miller makes it 24-15. Long lead pass down to Greenwood. Little too tall for David. And it'll be out of bounds to Southern California. Steve Smith coming into the USC lineup, replacing Don Carfino. Now, Smith has missed the last 5 games. He's playing with a cracked vertebra, the 5th vertebra, and they claim he's had that for over a year now. Bounce pass into Robinson, and they thought Robinson was going to go one way. The ball went the other, and right away, Steve Smith comes in and turns it over. That's the 5th USC turnover, 4 charged to UCLA. A 9-point lead for the Bruins, 24-15. Hamilton, Holland, Greenwood. Purvis Miller is on him. Inside to Gig Sims. Over Robinson. Put it through. Cliff Robinson didn't even go up to try to defend against that shot, like he was nailed to the floor. It's 26-15. UCLA. Miller at the side. Here is Cliff Robinson. A one-handed dunk. Cliff Robinson, 26-17. Robinson now has 5 points. Roy Hamilton over to Gig Sims. Brad Holland. Bounce pass into Greenwood, stolen by Purvis Miller. A lead pass to Dean Jones. Dean chases it down in the corner. Back over to Steve Smith, to Purvis Miller. He doesn't score it. Basket interference. Cliff Robinson tipped it in, but he interfered when the ball was on the lip of the rim. Offensive basket interference against the man in the yellow headband, Cliff Robinson, and they take it away. So the score remains UCLA 26, USC 17 with 8:09 to play in the first half. Neil Arnold into the ball game for the Trojans, and Darrell Allums comes in for UCLA, replacing Gig Sims. Arnold is in for Dean Jones. Darrell Allums gets it inside to Wilkes, but the foul is called against Cliff Robinson, and that is 2 on Robinson. Brad Holland now goes to the bench. Tyron Nall's in, and David Greenwood goes out to a standing ovation here in Pauley Pavilion, and we still have 7:58 to go in the first half. Greenwood replaced by Vandeweghe. Wilkes, a 56% free throw shooter, 19 out of 34 on the year. A 10-point lead once again for UCLA, the biggest margin of the night so far for the Bruins, 11. UCLA has done a good job at the free throw line this season. 74%. If they keep that up, they're going to set a school record. The best prior to this year was 72%, set in 1962. The Bruins, 74% at the line, and a 10-point lead, 27-17 over SC. Steve Smith hangs and banks one in. The basket will count. And we've got a foul on Tyron Knowles of UCLA. 27-19 the score. Good move by Steve Smith, hanging in midair and then banking it in on the 10-foot shot. Smith, a 56% free throw shooter, makes it 27-20. So it was a three-point basket by Steve Smith, giving the Trojans a bit of a lift. Kiki Vandeweghe, a baseball pass down to James Wilkes. Off to Hamilton. Hamilton underneath, puts it up and in! Hamilton loves to get his man beaten by a step and go to that baseline. 29-20, UCLA. Mo Williams over to Cliff Robinson. Robinson on the baseline jumper. He can't hit that shot as yet. Kiki Vandeweghe, here is Hamilton. Hamilton, offensive foul. Hamilton charged into his man, Neil Arnold. Two fouls on Roy Hamilton. Hamilton bumping into number 10 for the Trojans, Neil Arnold. Steve Smith will inbound it. Doug Whitfeld getting ready to come back in for USC. Checking in with the official score, Mike Marienthal. Not in the game yet. Steve Smith back to Mo Williams. Neil Arnold inside to Purvis Miller on a little right-handed hook. No good. They're going to say goaltending on Kiki Vandeweghe. A goaltending call by Irv Brown on Kiki Vandeweghe. Now watch Purvis Miller. Does Vandeweghe touch the ball? Doesn't look like it, does it? But goaltending was called nonetheless. That makes it 29-22. A 7-point lead for UCLA. But it sure didn't appear that Vandeweghe even got his pinky on that basketball. Here is Wilkes firing over Whitfield. And he gets it. James Wilkes. 31-22. The Bruins up by 9. Cliff Robinson, in case you're wondering about him, he's 2 for 7 in the game thus far. But he's missed those baseline shots. He's missed 4 of those 10, 12-foot baseline shots that he lost. Steve Smith didn't miss that. Smith puts it in, makes it 31-24. Darrell Allums puts it up. And the foul will be against Darrell Allums, charging into his man. Allums taking the pass from Hamilton, barreling in, and the foul on Darrell. So that is 6 fouls against UCLA, 5 team fouls against SC as Purvis Miller prepares to inbound it to Neil Arnold. UCLA 31, SC 24. The Bruins have led throughout the first half, getting off to a 5-0 start. We have 6 minutes to go till intermission. Purvis Miller in along the lane, angle shot, taken away by Cliff Robinson, who scores. Robinson underneath. 31-26. It's been a good run now. Here's Vandeweghe underneath. I was just getting ready to say the Trojans were making a good run when all of a sudden the long lead pass, and UCLA gets it right back, leading 33-26. Arnold to Purvis Miller. Inside to Cliff Robinson. The baseline jumper is there this time. That's the first one that he's made in his last 5 shots from that spot. 33-28, a 5-point UCLA lead. Wilkes back over to Brad Holland. Holland to James Wilkes. Launches a 15-footer right through. Wilkes now has hit 2 in a row. 35-28, UCLA. And now the Trojans and the Bruins are trading basket for basket. Entertaining first half here at Pauley Pavilion with 5 minutes to go before it's over. Miller comes back out in front. Cliff Robinson drops down low. Neil Arnold looking for Whitfeld or Robinson. Both of them well covered, so Arnold has to come back out in front. Tyron Knowles takes him. Steve Smith. Back out to Purvis Miller. Arnold inside to Cliff Robinson. There's that fadeaway jumper. He's got 2 in a row, and when Robinson gets hot, he generally rattles off about 5 or 6 shots in a row. 35-30. When he gets it going, he's tough. And right now, he appears that he's got it going. A 5-point UCLA lead with 4:20 to go till halftime. Brad Holland to Darrell Allums. Back over to Wilkes. Kiki Vandeweghe dropping down low, posted high is Darrell Allums. Allums over to Wilkes. Wilkes over Whitfield on a bank shot. James Wilkes hitting 3 in a row. 7 points for Wilkes. And that was a big basket indeed for UCLA. Leading now 37-30 over Southern California. Bob Boyd is going to get Mo Williams back in the game in a hurry. Purvis Miller underneath to Neil Arnold. His shot good. The backdoor play for the Trojans with Neil Arnold scoring. Tyron Knowles across the timeline. Over to Brad Holland. Open for a 20-footer. 2 more for Brad Holland. 6 points in the game for the 6'3" UCLA senior guard. 39-32. Bruins lead with 3.5 minutes till halftime. Neil Arnold and Tyron Knowles. Steve Smith and Brad Holland. Bounce pass inside, and Cliff Robinson doesn't score it. But will they call a foul, or were they going to call goaltending? Yep, Irv Brown is going to call goaltending.
Basket is good by Cliff Robinson.
So Cliff Robinson gets credit for the basket. That makes it 39-34. And the crowd upset by that call.
Into the game for the Bruins, number 34.
I'd kind of like to see that play again, wouldn't you? Robinson underneath. The foul was called on
Foul was on number 35,
James Wilkes. So Robinson will go to the line. 39-32. Robinson has 13 points. Still 13. Vandeweghe comes up with the ball for UCLA. It's a 5-point lead, 39-34. 3:14 to go in the first half. Vandeweghe from the top of the circle, right through. Vandeweghe, nothing but net. And the Bruins have a 7-point lead once again. Boy, UCLA's been shooting very well here in the first half. Pass inside, goes over to Purvis Miller, swings around with a right-handed hook. And David Greenwood gave him a wide berth. It's 41-36. Hamilton comes down court with it. Purvis Miller all over him underneath the Greenwood over Robinson, scores it. Cliff Robinson didn't want to foul, so he had to kind of hang loose. And Greenwood just put it up and banked it through. 43-36. Once again, the Bruins up by 7. Neil Arnold off over to Steve Smith. Into Cliff Robinson underneath. And Robinson scored. He got Kiki Vandeweghe going up. A long lead pass down to Greenwood, and he scores it. 45-38. And the Bruins are doing a good job on what they call transition baskets. Taking that ball off of the board and throwing a 3/4 length of the court pass and scoring easily. 45-38. Here is Robinson. The Bruins have scored their last 9 straight shots. Mo Williams in trouble. Bounces it over to Neil Arnold. Arnold underneath to Cliff Robinson, and he doesn't score it. Here is Vandeweghe down to Hamilton. Hamilton to Holland, and he scores! Listen to this crowd at Pauley Pavilion. 47-38. The Bruins now have scored 10 straight baskets. 10 shots, 10 baskets. The roar of this crowd is deafening. 47-38, UCLA. A shot by Smith breaks the UCLA spell. 47-40. Boy, what do you think about this for the first half? 1:05 to go. Wilkes to Vandeweghe. To Greenwood, and Greenwood bumps into Purvis Miller, loses the ball, out of bounds to Southern California. 59 seconds till halftime. We're going to get Dean Jones back in the game for the Trojans. UCLA 47, USC 40. Dean Jones, Don Carfino, the 2 guards now for SC. 47-40. Bruins and the Trojans in a shootout here at Pauley. UCLA's gone to a zone defense. Here is Robinson along the baseline to Purvis Miller, scoring it. Purvis Miller, 47-42. Purvis Miller now has 10. Cliff Robinson, 15 to lead the Trojans. Greenwood back over to Hamilton. Hamilton looks over to Greenwood. Back to Hamilton. Hamilton in along the lane, twisting it up and in. A twisting, spinning, driving lay-in by Roy Hamilton. 49-42. The Trojans make a run, and UCLA comes right back and answers the challenge. Trojans now with only 9 seconds to go in the first half. Purvis Miller fires up an 18-footer. Here is Greenwood. Over to Holland. Holland on a 45-footer over the top of the backboard. An excellent first half for the spectators here at Pauley Pavilion. A 7-point lead for the Bruins, and UCLA has shot a sizzling 67% here in the first half. At the intermission, UCLA Bruins 49, USC 42.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. Thought I would get a couple of observations from a couple of former players in these great UCLA-USC games. Bill Walton to my right and Bill Boyd to my left. So, Bill, your interpretations of the first half.
My interpretation is that UCLA is a much better team. They got a lot more balance, and you know, SC had a real bad start, and they're going too much to the big guy Robinson. I think they have to get more balance in their game. I think that UCLA is getting very easy shots, a lot of easy layups inside, and SC's having to work too far out on the perimeter to get their shots. And I just think that it's going to be UCLA down the stretch. You know, I think that they're going to blow it open, you know, about halfway through the second half. Their better conditioning is going to help them a lot. But SC's a good team, and
This might be a good time for UCLA to play Notre Dame then on Sunday.
it's the perfect time. UCLA is playing very good, the best they've played all season at this point right now, and Notre Dame's a little bit down, and I think that's it's going to be a great game on Sunday. The travel is going to help UCLA, I think, because at this point in the season, you really want to play a lot. You want to play all the time. You don't want to be sitting around in hotels all the time. You want to be out on that court running around a lot because you're in the best condition right now. And Notre Dame's been traveling a lot on the road down in the South and on the East Coast, and I think it's a good time for both teams to meet. It should be a heck of a ball game.
Thank you for the comments, Bill. Now let's swing over and get a comment from Bill Boyd, who played 4 years at USC.
Hello,
Your
Michael.
comments in the first half.
Well, Mike, I think as most people probably read that SC, before the game started, we're talking about stopping the transition game. And whether we make the basket or not, when UCLA comes back down the other end, we've got to, or USC, at least have to have all the guys covered and cannot allow uncontested lay-ins.
Bill, thank you very much. So we've had the two Bills, Bill Walton and Bill Boyd, and we're about ready to have the second half. Halftime score, UCLA 49, USC 42.
For years, Quasar has had an uncompromising commitment to quality. Now that commitment has resulted in some of the most highly advanced television features. There's our highly reliable 100% solid-state chassis and our Dynabright tri-potential picture tube with an extra focusing lens for Quasar's sharpest, clearest picture yet. Our Dynacolor tuning monitors, adjusts, and corrects your colors so even the most subtle colors are rendered accurately. Our 3-speaker audio spectrum sound system makes every show you watch more vivid and exciting. And our light sensor automatically adjusts picture brightness to room lighting conditions. We've even used a microcomputer in our Compumatic touch tuning to switch channels silently, directly, instantly. For your family's ultimate enjoyment, television made with an uncompromising commitment to quality by Quasar makes television special.
Glenn Henderson of Burbank is the next contestant on Bloom's Bruin Bonanza. If a Bruin slam dunks, he will win $50 in merchandise from Mark C. Bloom. If there's a second slam dunk, Lucy Vartanian of Los Angeles will win the same. It's 49-42 UCLA. And even though the Bruins shot 67% from the floor on 21 out of 31 in the first half, USC shot 53%, and the Bruins are ahead by only 7. Cliff Robinson with 15 points, and all of Robinson's points came in the last 10 minutes of the first half. The leader for UCLA, David Greenwood, with 15 points on 7 out of 9 from the floor. Cliff Robinson is 7 out of 13. In the rebounding department, 15 for UCLA, 13 for Southern California. Individual points, Whitfeld 4, Miller 10, Robinson 15, Jones 2, Carfino has not scored. That's a big surprise. Williams 2, Smith 7, Arnold 2. For UCLA, Greenwood with 15, Vandeweghe 9, Sims 6, Holland 8, Hamilton 4, Wilkes 7, Allums and Knowles, they have not scored. It'll be Greenwood, Sims, Vandeweghe, Holland, and Hamilton for UCLA. Cliff Robinson, Don Carfino, Dean Jones, Doug Whitfeld, and Purvis Miller for the Trojans, exactly the way these two clubs started. Now we're going to have to do it all over again. UCLA 49 and Southern California 42. And anytime you can get one team to shoot 67% and the other team to shoot 53%, that's an outstanding first half of collegiate basketball. Purvis Miller juggles and picks it up for the Trojans. Down by 7. Whitfeld at the side. 15-footer. He doesn't get it. Slapped back over to Roy Hamilton. And the foul will be against Whitfeld. I think Whitfeld lost his balance, kind of reached out for the ball and bumped into Roy Hamilton. So Doug Whitfeld, a bit disgusted with himself, picking up the personal foul. And for Whitfeld, that's his first one of the game. 49-42, UCLA. Brad Holland off over to Greenwood. Brad jumps on a 25-footer, but before he launched the shot, a foul was called on Gig Sims, player control foul against the 6'9" junior UCLA center. 2 personals on Gig Sims. And we want to thank Chancellor Charles Young and Dick Perry and Bill Walton and Bill Boyd for being on with us during the intermission. They all had some very interesting comments to make. 49-42 UCLA. Underneath, Carfino misses. Whitfeld has it. And Rich Ballesteros is calling a foul on Kiki Vandeweghe. And for Kiki Vandeweghe, his second. Whitfeld will be at the line. Shop Harrison Frank with Famous Maker Fashions for today's active men and women. All stores are open Sunday. Well, he thought he was going to shoot. He was at the line, so were the teams. They said, wasn't a shooting foul, so he goes out of bounds to the Trojans. Here's Cliff Robinson open at the free throw line. He can do that when he gets just a brief second to get open. 49-44. The Trojans cut the UCLA lead to 5. Brad Holland to Roy Hamilton. David Greenwood. Gig Sims. Back over to Hamilton. Inside to Greenwood. Spins around over Purvis Miller. In and out. A follow-up. Good! Roy Hamilton with a tremendous follow-up shot. 51-44. A 7-point lead for UCLA. Carfino hasn't scored yet tonight. Whitfeld inside to Cliff. They're going to the big guy all the time. And Cliff responds with 2 more. 51-46. A 5-point lead for UCLA. Traveling is the call against Hamilton. He lost his footing. It'll be out of bounds to Southern California. And even though UCLA has led throughout, the Trojans are down by just 5 with 18.5 minutes to go. They continually want to go inside to Cliff Robinson. Here's Jones at the outside. And now they're getting some outside perimeter shooting from Dean Jones. 51-48. SC has trimmed the lead to just 3. The people here at Pauley getting restless, cheering on the Bruins. UCLA needing a basket right now. Holland from the corner. In and out. A follow-up. Good. Greenwood. There was a big basket early in the second half. So UCLA has the 5-point margin again. Carfino. Inside to Cliff Robinson. Back over to Carfino. Here's Dean Jones on the 20-footer. 2 in a row for Dean Jones. Jones is not noted for his outside shooting, although he has been outstanding in the last 3 weeks. 53-50, UCLA. Hamilton to Brad Holland. Off over to Kiki Vandeweghe. Greenwood looking inside for Gig Sims. Back over to Holland. Here is Hamilton along the baseline. A bank shot by Roy. And an assist to Brad Holland. Brad has been doing such an outstanding job shooting, averaging 17 points a game. His assists are sometimes overlooked. Already tonight, Brad Holland has 3 assists. Carfino. Back out over to Dean Jones. Here's Purvis Miller on a 20-footer. And a one-handed slam dunk by Cliff Robinson. It's 55-52 UCLA. Robinson has 21. In the first meeting, he scored 32 for SC, but that was in a losing cause. Bruins won that night 89-86. Gig Sims inside to Greenwood, bounced away. Bruins come right back with it. Bad pass by Holland, taken off by Dean Jones. Dean Jones carried the ball. Rich Ballesteros said he carried the ball. That brings Bob Boyd and Jim Hefner up off the USC bench. Jim Hefner has been an assistant to Bob Boyd for the 13 years that Bob has been at USC. was with him at Santa Ana Junior College as well. SC's got into his zone. Kiki Vandeweghe over to Sims. A looping right-hander. Nice pass by Vandeweghe. And Sims dropped in the 5-footer. 57-52. UCLA has been able to maintain that 5-point spread on the Trojans. Although they were able to cut it to 3 a couple of times. Taken away by Gig Sims. Whitfeldt's shot was blocked by Sims. Here is Vandeweghe underneath. Vandeweghe scores it. Irv Brown says nothing doing. He'll take it away. The foul will be on Vandeweghe. 3 fouls on Kiki Vandeweghe. Charged into his men. Gary Cunningham up off the UCLA bench now, shouting the defense that he wants his Bruins to use as the Trojans bring it down court. 57-52 UCLA. Purvis Miller off to Carfino, knocked away by Holland. Carfino has it again. Off to Dean Jones. He passes to Whitfeldt. Whitfeldt inside, punched away by Sims. Chased down now by Purvis Miller. Play is wild and very fast-paced here at Pauley Pavilion. 57-52. Jones over to Carfino. Whitfeldt. Purvis Miller. Punched away by Greenwood and is taken off by Jones. Almost traveled with it. Doing the tightrope back. Jones makes his penetration. The shot blocked. Taken off by Hamilton. Hamilton over to Holland. Holland passes to Kiki Vandeweghe underneath the knees. Scores! The ball hung on the lip of the rim and finally dropped through. 59-52 UCLA. And for Kiki Vandeweghe, 11 points. And for Brad Holland, his 4th assist of the night. Cliff Robinson starts in. And a foul against David Greenwood. That's the first one on Greenwood. 4th team foul against UCLA. We have 14:51 to play, and Steve Smith, who played about 8 minutes in the first half and played well for the Trojans, is back in. Steve Smith, 7 points. So the guards now for the Trojans will be Carfino and Steve Smith, and Dean Jones gets a rest. Smith shoves the pass over to Carfino. Back over to Steve Smith. 59-52 UCLA, 14:40 to play. UCLA has been in a man defense except for the last minute of the first half. They went into the zone at that time. Carfino, Smith, or rather, Steve Smith over to Cliff Robinson. Loses the ball. Picked up by Hamilton. 3-on-1. Hamilton underneath the Vandeweghe. And on the slam dunk by Kiki Vandeweghe, that makes Glenn Henderson of Burbank winner of the $50 gift certificate in the Mark C. Bloom Bruin Bonanza contest. 61-52. Carfino at the side. 61-54. Carfino scoring his first points of the night. David Greenwood, 2 more. 63-54. When I watched the game at the Sports Arena early in January, I thought that was maybe the second best college basketball game I had seen played in about 4 or 5 years. This one may equal it. Smith drops it in. Steve Smith, 63-56. Some people are going to say, what's happened to the defense? How can you defense outstanding shooting like we've seen here? You can't defense a slam dunk very well either. Hamilton inside. Kiki Vandeweghe underneath. The Sims will slam dunk it, but they're going to take it away. Traveling call by Rich Ballesteros. We have 13:19 to play. Timeout here in Pauley Pavilion, and watch it again as Sims goes in for the slam dunk. But they say traveling, and they will take it away. Timeout here at Pauley Pavilion.
Channel 5, KTLA, Los Angeles.
Gary Cunningham will again be coaching at his summer basketball camp for boys in grades 3 through 11. The dates are July 29th to August the 3rd at the Pepperdine campus in Malibu. If you're interested, contact Coach Cunningham at the UCLA office. Smith almost traveled with the ball. UCLA shooting 72% in the game. USC 60%. Purvis Miller out on the side. UCLA has made 17 of the last 20 shots. That's 85%. Great stat by Dennis Mnuchin. Carfino misses. A rebound to Kiki Vandeweghe. That's 6 boards for Vandeweghe. Holland off to Sims. He will take it from the corner. Doesn't get it. Hamilton does, and he scores it. Roy Hamilton, 65-56. And the Bruins up by 9 at the 12.5-minute mark. 12.5 to play. Steve Smith, Don Carfino. Purvis Miller looking inside. Doug Whitfield. Steve Smith. And a hang bank shot by Smith. It's 65-58. Steve Smith only played a total of 10 minutes in the last 8 games. He missed about 5 straight games. And already tonight, Steve Smith has 11 points for the Trojans. Brad Holland, 67-58, and Brad Holland has 10. His season's average just a tad under 17 a game. 11:43 left. Miller into Cliff Robinson. He scores it. Nice fingertip roll by Cliff Robinson. 67-60. Robinson with 23 points. Robinson seems to play his best against UCLA. 32 in the first meeting. Brad Holland dishes it off over to Greenwood. Open for a 15-footer. David couldn't hit it, but a sweet pass by Holland. Here is Smith. Deep pass down to Carfino. Knocked away by Holland. Holland comes up with it. It's a 3-on-1. Bruin fast break to Hamilton, who scores! Isn't that Brad Holland something? 5 assists. Holland, the middleman, on a 3-on-1 with the wraparound pass, and Hamilton got the basket. A 9-point lead. Robinson cuts it to 7. 69-62. Robinson with 25. It's too bad they can't package this UCLA-USC show and put it on the road. It would be SO. Sold out all the time. Standing room only. The foul is on Cliff Robinson. That'll be 3 on the active 6'9" sophomore at USC. Cliff Robinson picks up his 3rd foul right here. And we have a timeout at Poly Pavilion. 10:27 left. A 7-point UCLA lead.
UCLA has been on the Westwood campus.
Ticket orders will be accepted for the upcoming NCAA basketball first and second round games to be played here in Pauley Pavilion March 9th and 11th. 6 of the top teams to be named early in March will be competing. Dial UCLA 101 for ticket information. UCLA shooting 75% from the floor here in the second half, 9 out of 12. USC 63% on 10 out of 16. Now that doesn't turn you on. I don't know what does. 69-62. Greenwood. 70-62. How many free throws has David made tonight? 2 for 2. All right. That means that he's got a streak going of 15 straight rebounds. 16 straight rebounds in the last 5 games. 71-62. Bruins by 9. Trojans have played very well. Boyd said they're going to have to shoot well, and they have shot well. Not that time, though. Steve Smith gets it right back out to Carfino. He can't put it in. Rebound to Hamilton. Off to Kiki Vandeweghe. David Greenwood on the left wing underneath to Holland. Holland puts it in. Brad Holland has gone more to the baseline tonight than in any other game this season. And that tactic is paying handsome dividends for UCLA. 73-62. A rebound for Gig Sims. Here is Hamilton. Off to Greenwood. 15-footer. The Bruins with their biggest lead of the night. 13 points. And SC wants a timeout. And they get it. And Pauley Pavilion is bedlam as the Bruins build up a 13-point lead. David Greenwood and Cliff Robinson have been putting on a great show here tonight. Cliff Robinson has 25 points. He's made 12 out of 19 from the field, 8 rebounds. David Greenwood, 23 points on 10 out of 13, 7 rebounds and 2 block shots. Mo Williams in the game, puts it in. 75 to 64. So the Trojans cut that UCLA lead to 11 with 9:10 to play. Inside it goes to Kiki Vandeweghe, knocked away by Purvis Miller, and bouncing off of Miller is Roy Hamilton. Neil Arnold comes down. Off to Mo Williams, he's open, and he puts it in. That's 2 in a row for Mo Williams. 75 to 66. The Trojans down by 13, chop it to 9. 8:50 left. Hamilton. Kiki Vandeweghe back over to Hamilton. Goes for the baseline. Arnold all over him. Back over to Brad Holland. Inside it goes to Kiki Vandeweghe, and he's fouled underneath. And if that's on Cliff Robinson, it would be his 4th. If it is on Cliff, I don't know. It's going to be on Neil Arnold instead. Cliff had his hands up there, and the foul on Arnold, that'll be his 1st. So Cliff Robinson still has 3. You look at Gary Cunningham, Jim Herrick, and Larry Farmer. When your Honda needs service, it makes sense to take it to an authorized Honda dealer. And Honda now has over 700 dealers coast to coast. Kiki Vandeweghe made the 1st, missed the 2nd. It's 76-66. 10-point lead enjoyed by Gary Cunningham's team. 8:20 to go. Gary Cunningham has never lost a conference game here in Pauley Pavilion. Right-handed hook by Cliff Robinson, and the foul will be against David Greenwood, his 2nd. 15 foul against UCLA. You don't see Cliff shoot that shot often. He likes to go to the baseline and then jump up in the air and spin around for a fadeaway jumper. That's his pet shot. 26 points for Cliff Robinson. 76-67. Cliff's career high, 39. Last year against Cal. 76-68. So the Trojans are hanging in there. UCLA had them a 13-point lead. Now it's down to 76-68. Tipped in by Hamilton. Oh, my, what a shot by Hamilton. A volleyball shot. 78-68. The Bruins by 10. And when shots like that are going in, you say to yourself, it's got to be UCLA's night. 7:50 to play. Here is Purvis Miller. 78-70. Hamilton has 14 points. Holland has 12. David Greenwood on the baseline. And Sims tips it over to Hamilton, who volleyballs it over to Kiki. He can't hold on. 3-on-1 Trojan fast break. Arnold juggles. The Trojans missed a great opportunity, and now they throw it away. Now watch the volleyball play by UCLA. There's the alley-oop, Greenwood, and finally it's tipped in. That is 10 turnovers for USC, 13 turnovers for UCLA. James Wilkes into the Bruins, replacing Gig Sims. 78-70, UCLA, 7:20 to play. Mike Walden from Pauley Pavilion. Glad to have you with us live on Channel 5. Wilkes on a bank shot. Kiki Vandeweghe is fouled by Mo Williams. Oh, it's going to be against Robinson. It looked like Williams got him, but Robinson got him right on the left shoulder. That is 4 fouls on Cliff Robinson. 4. It's 78-70, UCLA with 7:12 to go in the first half. After a hard day on the job, sit back and relax with Budweiser. You know that's the perfect way to end a hectic day. Just you and the king of beers, Budweiser. Vandeweghe 79-70. Now it's a 10-point spread once again, 80-70. And for Kiki Vandeweghe, 16 points. Career high, 21. Taken off by Hamilton. Hamilton loses it. Didn't want to bump into Smith and commit the foul. Steve Smith over to Cliff Robinson to Purvis Miller, who scores. And the Trojans worked it around very well. 80-72. UCLA has led throughout by 7 at the half, 49-42, leading now by 8 at 80-72. 6.5 minutes to play. Brad Holland almost lost his balance. Into Kiki Vandeweghe over Robinson. He scores. That's all Robinson can do right now. With 4 fouls, he's got to put his hands up in the air and say to everybody, look, I'm not touching him. He's gone. It's 82-72. Neil Arnold to Purvis Miller. Steve Smith back over to Arnold. He'll take the shot. Another rebound for Kiki Vandeweghe. His 8th in the game. Brad Holland for the baseline. Passes down to Wilkes, who doesn't score. A follow-up missed by Greenwood. A follow-up by Wilkes doesn't go. And the ball is off the fingertips of one of the Trojans. It'll go out of bounds to UCLA. Don Carfino and Dean Jones getting ready to come back in for SC. The substitutions are made right now. Neil Arnold and Steve Smith come out. UCLA 82, Southern California 72, 5:56 left. Over to Hamilton, to David Greenwood. Vandeweghe. It could be that UCLA may decide to go into a delay, a control type of game right now. We'll see. Brad Holland out in front. Back over to... Oh, Holland pumps a 25-footer up there. Off to Greenwood. That was certainly no delay. But Brad is capable of making that shot. 82-72. Apparently UCLA is going to do the same things that got him that 10-point lead. Holland fires it up from 22 out and misses. 2 misses in a row now by Brad Holland. And it'll be out of bounds to UCLA. Mo Williams is arguing with referee Irv Brown, but of course to no avail. Inbounding it will be James Wilkes. Over to Greenwood. Greenwood underneath. Foul will be against Mo Williams of USC. And Mo goes over and shakes hands with David. That's 2 fouls on Williams. David was ready to slam it home. Got all ready to do it. Mo got just enough of the ball to foul him and knock the ball away. Greenwood has the string of free throws going. He's got 23 points. He's 4 for 4 in this game. He's got 17 straight free throws over the last 5 games. And the string is still alive. He is 5 for 5 at the free throw line tonight, and he has 18 straight going. It's 84-72. UCLA, 5:10 to play. Mo Williams on a drive. Mo tries again. Again doesn't get it. 3rd time he does. The 3rd time was a charm for number 20, Williams. Hamilton down to Holland. Holland scores underneath. 86-74. The Bruins with a 12-point lead, 4:45 left, and for Brad Holland, 14 points. His running mate at guard, Hamilton, has 14. Greenwood has 25. Taken off by Greenwood. Here's Hamilton underneath to Wilkes, traveling on Wilkes. 14th turnover for UCLA tonight. SC is committed 10, and we have a timeout here at Pauley Pavilion. 4:32 left, and it's a 12-point UCLA lead. Coming up a week from tomorrow, the 17th of this month, is another crosstown battle between the nationally ranked Bruin and Trojan swimming teams. The 13th event dual meet starts at 1 o'clock in the UCLA Recreation Center pool. Admission is free. Carfino inside to Purvis Miller. And we have a foul on James Wilkes. In the second half, UCLA has shot 56%, USC 56%. The Bruins 14 out of 25 from the field, USC 15 out of 27. And both teams are shooting well over 50% for the entire game. So it's been an outstanding exhibition by these 2 teams. A steal by Greenwood. Over to Brad Holland. Holland drives on Purvis Miller, and Holland is hammered by Purvis Miller. Irv Brown goes over and says something to Brad Holland. And I want to watch Irv Brown's signal. Purvis really got him.
Number 45, Purvis Miller.
And for Purvis Miller, that's his second. And I think they're going to give Brad 2 shots. Yep, that's it. An intentional foul called on Purvis Miller, and Brad will get 2 shots. That's what Herb Brown was informing him of. Brad Holland has scored 4 of his 7 baskets on baseline drives in this game, and that's been one of the surprises from UCLA standpoint. Brad hasn't just been standing out in front, popping 20, 25 footers. He's been going to the baseline a lot. He can't make the second free throw after making the first, so it's 87-74. A 13-point spread for UCLA. 4:12 to go. Inside it goes over to Purvis Miller, and he banks it in. 87-76. Trojans trying to put on a little pressure down to Wilkes. Wilkes to Vandeweghe, travels with the ball. Kiki Vandeweghe taking too many steps. It'll be out of bounds at the side to USC. The Trojans trail UCLA by 11. 3:50 remaining. Williams looking inside to Cliff Robinson. Carfino was open all alone under the basket, but I guess he didn't spot him. Here's Carfino now on the drive. Doesn't get it on the bank shot. Loose ball grabbed by Cliff Robinson. The foul whistled on David Greenwood, his third. In the scramble for the loose ball, David Greenwood picks up the third foul.
Shooting 1-1.
And Cliff Robinson will be at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Robinson is 3 for 5 at the line. Cliff has 27 points. .76. 87-77. Trojans down by 10. 3:39 left. Got both of them to drop. 87-78. Greenwood over to Holland. Holland with a lead pass down to Kiki Vandeweghe. Over to Hamilton. Hamilton on a reverse lay-in. Doesn't get it. Robinson is there to take off the rebound. Here comes Dean Jones for SC. To Mo Williams underneath. And the basket will count, and a foul on Wilkes. This could be a 3-point play, and suddenly it's 87-80.
Basket is good.
And a timeout called here at Pauley Pavilion. 3:23 left, and it's a 7-point lead for UCLA over Southern California.
Savor simplified. Fly the blue skies.
One of the big volleyball events of 1979 comes up here in Pauley Pavilion, April the 6th and the 7th. The UCLA Volleyball Classic, pitting America's 4 top teams. On opening night at 6 o'clock, it'll be Pepperdine versus USC, followed at 8 by Ohio State and UCLA. Dial UCLA 101 for ticket information. Mo Williams puts in a free throw, and it's an 87-81 ball game. The Trojans down by just 6. A lot of time left. 3:20. Pass over to David Greenwood to Hamilton. Trojans are 7 out of 9 at the free throw line as Hamilton goes in and scores it. A big, big basket for UCLA. 89-81. UCLA 15 out of 19 at the foul line. We have 2:58 left. Robinson swings it over Wilkes and gets it. Cliff Robinson with 31 points. 89-83 UCLA. Greenwood down court, puts it up short, taken off by Robinson. Robinson to Purvis Miller. Miller scores it. 89-85, and now SC cuts it to 4. Here is Hamilton across the line. 2.5 minutes left to Kiki Vandeweghe. Brad Holland. One thing you've got to say about SC, even when they were behind by 13 points, not once tonight have they quit. UCLA has been on top throughout. Twice enjoying leads of 13 at 75-62, 87-74. But the Trojans charging right back, and the foul will be against Purvis Miller of Southern California. That'll be his third. Going to the line, Roy Hamilton, a 65% free throw shooter. Now, in the closing minutes of recent games, Roy Hamilton has had difficulty on one-on-one situations. Let's see what he does right now. Doesn't get it. Robinson off to Carfino. 89-85. UCLA by 4. Williams to Carfino. The crowd on its feet here at Pauley Pavilion. A shot by Williams. Taken off by Greenwood. Over to Brad Holland to Hamilton. 1:45 left. The Bruins leading by 4. 89-85. Hamilton goes in. Doesn't score. Goaltending is the call on Cliff Robinson. So the basket goes to Roy Hamilton, and it's 91-85. And the Bruins have a 6-point lead with a minute and a half left. And Rich Ballesteros has got a foul. It's on James Wilkes of UCLA. That's 4 on Wilkes. 4 fouls on Wilkes. And now we're going to get a timeout call by UCLA with 1:20. We'd like to pass along happy birthday greetings to John Cook, our technical director tonight on this telecast back at KTLA TV. And if you will permit, one personal happy birthday greeting to my father-in-law, Carl Stewart, 80 years old today, out here from Champaign, Illinois. And is he glad to be here? Champaign's buried under about 20 inches of snow. 1:26 to go. UCLA 91, USC 85. And the Bruins have to take a plane out of here tomorrow and head back for the Midwest because they have a date with Notre Dame, #1 of the nation, on Sunday. Robinson, oh, he just did get it to bounce through. 91-86, 32 points for Robinson, which duplicates his earlier effort against the Bruins at the Sports Arena. Got both of them to go down. It's 81. It's 91-87, so it's a 4-point lead as Holland dishes it off over to Greenwood. And a foul called against Brad Holland. Brad Holland and Smith running into one another. The foul is on Holland. And it'll be out of bounds to the Trojans with 1:22 left. Cliff Robinson will inbound it. UCLA 91, SC 87. The crowd on its feet here at Pauley Pavilion. Steve Smith to Mo Williams. Off to Carfino. Carfino looks inside for Robinson. He's well covered by Greenwood. Carfino over to Purvis Miller, and he scores! It's 91-89. The Trojans are down by 2 to UCLA as Wilkes in the backcourt. Over to Kiki Vandeweghe to Hamilton. Hamilton to Greenwood. Back over to Holland. 56 seconds left. Holland along the baseline, and we'll get a foul against the Trojans. The foul will be against Mo Williams as Holland went darting in along the baseline. That's been a maneuver he's tried a lot tonight with success. He's had 4 baskets along the baseline, and the foul against Williams. And now Brad Holland, a 72% free throw shooter. 54 seconds left. He's got it. 92-89, UCLA by 3. Brad trying to get total concentration. He's got both of them. 93-89 on a pair of free throws by Brad Holland. And now USC calls for a timeout. 54 seconds left, and it's a 4-point lead for the Bruins. UCLA leaves tomorrow on a 9 o'clock plane for Chicago. If they can land, because O'Hare has been closed a lot this winter with all of the snow and the cold weather they've had, then they've got to take a bus from O'Hare to South Bend, Indiana. They've got to get up at 8:30 and have their pregame meal because it's a 1 o'clock game, 3 hours time difference between here and South Bend. But they've got to get up at 8:30 South Bend time, which is 5:30 LA time, and they've got to have their pregame meal at 5:30 on LA body time. And then they got to go out and play the #1 ranked team of the nation, Notre Dame. And of course, Digger Phelps will be there to orchestrate the crowd and all the rest. But that's the way it's going to be for UCLA tomorrow and Sunday. And our next game back here at Pauley Pavilion will be Thursday night against Arizona State. We'll have that one for you on KTLA TV at 10 o'clock. Now that's how much time remains. USC has 2 timeouts left. UCLA 1. Carfino to Mo Williams. His shot. Good. It's 93 to 91, and SC calls for a timeout. Now, SC has 1 timeout, and UCLA has 1 timeout. And Bob Boyd talking to his Trojans, undoubtedly thinking back to the night of March the 6th, 1970, when SC won here in Pauley Pavilion by 1 point. That was 87 to 86. And the year before, the Trojans won 46 to 44. That was the first loss for UCLA ever in Pauley Pavilion. The Bruin record is 212-7 here in Pauley Pavilion. UCLA 16-3 overall, 9-2 in the Pac-10, and USC 13-7 and 8-3 in the Pac-10. The Trojans have been behind throughout. UCLA started out at 5-0, led at the half 49-42. Twice opened up 13-point leads in the second half. But then the tough Trojans kept charging right back, and now they've cut the UCLA lead to 2. UCLA's ball out of bounds. Vandaway over to Hamilton. Hamilton in the backcourt doing his dribbling act. Gets it off over to Brad Holland. Over to Kiki Vandaway. 40 seconds left. Down to David Greenwood. Greenwood goes for the baseline. Back out to Wilkes. 30 seconds left. Vandaway to Hamilton. And Hamilton is fouled by Purvis Miller. So once again, Roy Hamilton is faced with the pressure situation of a one-on-one. Now, he was at the line in a similar spot with about 2 minutes to go. Missed the head free throw. And now Roy toes the mark, knowing that his team is up by only 2 at 93 to 91 and 29 seconds left. The tough one to get, of course, is that head free throw. He doesn't do it. Taken off by Robinson. Robinson over to Smith, and SC calls for another timeout. So 27 seconds left, an SC timeout, and the Bruins now faced with a possibility of a tie game because the Trojans will have the ball out of bounds with 27 seconds left. Well, SC and UCLA is something. I don't know of any other rivalry like it. Baseball, football, you name it. It is really something special, and the 12,800 fans here in Pauley Pavilion have been treated to something special. And we hope all of you watching on Channel 5 have been with us all the way and have enjoyed it as much as we have. We'd like to remind you that the News Watch on Channel 5 will follow our telecast from Pauley Pavilion. UCLA 93, USC 91, and you can, I would guess, they're going to try to get it inside to Cliff Robinson, because that seems to be the best percentage play for SC with 27 seconds left. Take your chances with the big guy in the middle. Already tonight he's got 33 points. If he's fouled, then he goes to the line. UCLA 93, SC 91, and the Trojans bring it up court. Smith and Carfino the guards. There's Cliff Robinson out on the side, but you can rest assured he's going to be underneath very shortly. Knocked away by Hamilton. And Hamilton is fouled by Don Carfino. Carfino had just started to look down court for Robinson, who was slipping underneath. And there is number 24 at the line again. Knocked away, and there is Hamilton, and Hamilton goes to the line a third time with a one-on-one situation. He has missed 2 one-on-ones in a row. He doesn't do it again. Taken off by Roy Hamilton. Over to Greenwood. 8 seconds left. And a foul on Steve Smith. Steve Smith of the Trojans with that much time left. And guess who's going to be at the line? Yep, number 24. Roy must feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders right now. You say to yourself, this time it's got to go down. And I'm sure that's what Roy Hamilton is saying right now. It's got to go down. It doesn't. Robinson over to Carfino. 5 seconds left. Carfino, a jump shot. A tip in by Robinson. We've got a tie game, and we will go into overtime. A tip in the last second by Cliff Robinson. So we will go to a 5-minute overtime period. At the end of regulation time, UCLA 93, USC 93. For the first time tonight, USC has tied UCLA. And you would think this would give the Trojans quite a psychological lift as we go into the 5-minute overtime. 93-93, Robinson and Greenwood to jump in the 5-minute overtime period. Kiki Vandeweghe. Robinson now. Remember, Cliff Robinson is playing with 4 fouls. David Greenwood off to Gig Sims. Brad Holland. He jumps in a 25-footer. And it's rebounded by the Trojans. Mo Williams has it. Here comes Steve Smith. 93 all, overtime period. Don Carfino. Back to Mo Williams. Carfino looking inside for Purvis Miller. Gives it back out in front to Mo Williams. Into Cliff Robinson, shoots over Greenwood. It's a little short, and it's grabbed off by Gig Sims. Over to Roy Hamilton. Roy Hamilton across the timeline. Stops. 2 men on him. Gets the ball over to Kiki. 15-foot shot. No good. Rebounded by Cliff Robinson. And now the Bruins are getting just 1 shot here in the overtime period. An official's timeout. Bob Harrell calls the timeout. Apparently Cliff got an elbow on top of the head or the bridge of the nose. And Jack Ward, the SC trainer, goes out to administer to Cliff Robinson. Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay where Robinson gets banged on the head. It's his own man, Purvis Miller, who got him on top of the head. Might have been right around the left eye. Jack Ward is out there mopping the area around the left eye. Cliff Robinson stays in the game. Oh, you don't leave a game like this unless you can't walk. It's 93 all, 4:07 left. Apparently he is. Now, USC has to make a substitution here because if they don't, they're going to be charged a timeout, and they're out of timeouts. They have 1 left in the overtime period, so Bob Boyd wants to keep a hold of that one, so he's got to substitute for a while. So Whitfield goes in, Doug Whitfield. 93 all, 4 minutes left in the overtime. Carfino. Cliff Robinson getting ready to come right back in now. Next time he can. Steve Smith to Mo Williams. Carfino to Whitfield. Steve Smith in the corner. Steve Smith over to Whitfield. Oh, Doug was tempted to shoot. Into Purvis Miller. Miller over Vandeweghe. Blocked by Vandeweghe. We're going to get a foul. Foul is on Kiki Vandeweghe. That's 4 on Vandeweghe. And Purvis Miller will go to the line for USC. Although the shot was blocked by Greenwood, the foul was called on Vandeweghe. What kind of a free throw shooter is Miller? Purvis is 63% at the line. He hasn't been at the line yet tonight. Didn't get it. Purvis Miller, however, has 20 points in the game. Look at the study of concentration on Bob Boyd's face. Got this one. So it's 94-93, the first time the Trojans have led tonight, and it comes at the 3:24 mark in overtime. Brad Holland in the middle, shoves it off over to Roy Hamilton. Hamilton in long, lays it up, no good, and it comes off to Steve Smith. Steve Smith dribbles back out in front. The Trojans lead by 1, 94-93. 3 minutes to go in the overtime. Carfino to Mo Williams. An SC victory tonight would put SC into a tie with UCLA for first place in the Pac-10. Steve Smith over to Robinson. His shot in and out. Purvis Miller. He doesn't score it. Miller has it again. Almost stepped over the line. Back over to Robinson. And the Trojans hold onto the ball. A 1-point lead. Knocked away by Hamilton. The foul against Roy Hamilton. And Steve Smith will go to the line. Roy Hamilton trying to poke the ball away from Steve Smith. Got him. Steve Smith now is a 56% free throw shooter. He'll be at the line shooting the 1-and-1. 94-93. Misses a head free throw off to Kiki Vandeweghe. Both teams have had difficulty with that first free throw on the 1-and-1. SC 94, UCLA 93, 2:25 left. Holland to Hamilton. Kiki Vandeweghe. It's been a long time since the Bruins scored a field goal. Out of bounds to UCLA. Touched last by Don Carfino. They haven't scored here in the overtime period, and we played about 2:45. And you'd have to go back to the very end of the regulation time. So they probably haven't scored now in about 3 minutes. USC 94, UCLA 93. It was a tip in by Robinson on the last tick of the clock in regulation time to put it into the OT. Brad Holland from the top of the circle. In there! Holland gives UCLA a 1-point lead. 95-94. 1:52 left. Mo Williams. Back over to Dean Jones. Don Carfino. Here's Williams, a 20-footer. Rebounded by Greenwood. Oh, did Greenwood get up in the air to get that ball? 1:36 left. It's a 1-point lead for UCLA. Jones is crowding Hamilton. Off to Vandeweghe. Greenwood from the top of the circle. Back out to Brad Holland. Holland backing up. And a foul on Dean Jones. I'm a little surprised in view of the fact that Roy Hamilton has had his problems on the 1-and-1 that the Trojans didn't foul Hamilton. But instead they went for Brad Holland. So we will see how Brad Holland reacts to the pressure with 1:17 to go and a 1-point lead for the Bruins, 95-94. Yes. UCLA by 2. And Brad Holland, a study of concentration. A stoic Bob Boyd looking on. 96-94. Got both of them. A 3-point lead for the Bruins on a brace of free throws by Brad Holland. 1:13 left. Cliff Robinson over to Carfino. Loses the ball. The Bruins have it. Vandeweghe over to Hamilton, and he loses it. It'll be out of bounds to Southern California. 1:04 to play, and here comes Steve Smith back in this overtime period. Dean Jones goes out. Steve Smith hadn't checked in with the official score. Nerve says you got to do that first. Referee Irv Brown. 1:04 left, a 3-point lead for the Bruins, 97-94. Williams to Steve Smith. Mo Williams. Cliff Robinson, 15-footer. Rebound by Vandeweghe, and by Purvis Miller, it'll be a jump ball. That much time left. Both of these clubs want this one so badly. And now, Kiki Vandeweghe at 6'8" against Purvis Miller, 6'7". Touched last by one of the Trojans. Out of bounds, UCLA. 53 seconds left. UCLA 97, USC 94. Into David Greenwood. Greenwood gets the ball across the timeline over to Hamilton. Hamilton off to Brad Holland. 44 seconds left to David Greenwood, to Gig Sims. Sims in trouble over the sideline, gets the ball cross court over to Kiki Vandeweghe. Here is Hamilton. Hamilton over Williams, scores it. And nobody, and I mean nobody, on the court feels any better than that man, number 24, Roy Hamilton. Look at him over the 6'6" Williams on a difficult bank shot. 31 seconds left. The Bruins lead in the overtime by that much. Mike Walden back at Pauley Pavilion. The weight of the world has been lifted from the shoulders of Roy Hamilton. He's got 20 points, 10 assists, and this free throw will go down. 100-94 with 28 seconds left. Cliff Robinson to Carfino, blocked by Kiki Vandeweghe. Off to Cliff Robinson. His fadeaway jumper doesn't go. Greenwood, and Hamilton has it. Hamilton with the ball. Hamilton fights his way out of there and is fouled by Dean Jones. Just by looking at the face of Roy Hamilton, you can see he's more relaxed. He had to be tighter than a whole freight load of bass drums when he stepped to that line. And Hamilton goes to the line now with 13 seconds left. We're running the clock down because that's not the official clock. The official clock shows 13 seconds. There is Hamilton. And you just knew that was going to go down. Everybody's coming over and shaking. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that Roy Hamilton could run off about 30 free throws in a row right now. 101-94. 102-94. 12 seconds left. Mo Williams from the side doesn't get it. A rebound to Kiki Vandeweghe. Off to Brad Holland. The Bruins are well in command, winning their 13th straight Pac-10 title. It's all over. The final score, UCLA 102, USC 94. And we're going to get Gary Cunningham over here for a quick comment on the game as soon as he finishes congratulating his own teammates and the USC teammates, Don Carfino. So UCLA is now 17-3, 10-2 in the Pac-10, and USC is 13-8 and 8-4 in the Pac-10. We'll be back with comments from Gary Cunningham right after this. UCLA 102, USC 94, and just before we went on, Gary Cunningham came over and says, hey, a great win, hey, a great win. I didn't think I'd ever hear that out of Gary
Mike,
Cunningham.
I'm so excited tonight. This was a great win for us, and our team played well when we had to, and I have to give the Trojans a lot of credit. They really stuck in there, and we got them down, and we just couldn't put them away. They came back strong at us. We had trouble with our free throwing at the end of the game and let them back in the ball game, but in the overtime period, I thought Brad hit a big basket, and Roy hit his free throws and made a big basket, and I thought our team played exceptional defense in the overtime period. I'm just really proud of our team, and this was a great win for us tonight.
With 30 seconds to go in the overtime, nobody in America felt any better than Roy Hamilton on that driving shot from the left side.
Well, he needed that, and what he needed was to put one of those free throws in, because I believe he missed 3 or 4. Four of them front ends of 1-and-1, and when that happens, you start thinking about it, Mike, and it was great that Roy could come back and be able to shoot and make those.
Roy had 10 assists and 23 points tonight.
Yeah, he played a great game. I think all